pretty fast. Let's build an e-bike. Links for everything are going to be down in the description below. The full cost breakdown of the build is going to be at the end, so make sure you stay tuned for it. But let's just get straight into this build. Right, so I've got the kit out, I've got it unboxed, and this is everything that it comes with. And I'm actually surprised to say everything's here. We'll go through it all. So, first things first, there's the 2000 watt hub motor. I'm pleased that it actually comes with connectors as well. I've seen some of them come with just pins and wires. So that should save me some work. We've got the motor. We've got the display screen here and the controller. So that obviously goes onto the cockpit. Looks quite cool that. It's nice and thin as well, so we'll see how that performs. Oh. We've got the throttle and the grip. Pretty self-explanatory. Yeah. These have both got nice, easy connections as well. And I guess it'd just be a matter of lining them up with the correct connection on the controller, which is the next component. So I'm not expecting anything magical from this kit from the price that I paid, but yeah, that's some like cording for some wires, obviously to tidy up all your wiring and stuff. I've got the torque arm kit to obviously stop the wheel shredding off the frame, because apparently there's that much power in this kit. We'll see about that. Brake sensor, is it? No. That's the pedal assist sensor, which we're not going to be using because we're not interested in that. Brake sensor. I think that just cuts the throttle out when you apply your brake, so that attaches to your brake. And obviously when you are braking, the bike will register that and stop you using your throttle. So might use that, not sure. And then we've got the bag, which obviously the controller will fit in. This is everything with the kit. This is the battery. So it's a nice easy plug-in connection. Can't remember what the connection's called. Oh, there we go. XT60. So when you're buying your kit and when you're buying your battery, if you're buying them separate, just make sure that the connection is the same. It will say on the kit and it will say on the battery as well, but just make sure that they're the same. The first battery I ordered actually didn't have the correct fitting, so I had to send it back. Luckily I just cancelled the order before it arrived, but just be wary of that. So yeah, the battery, 52 volt, comes with a key, comes with power display, basic charger, and obviously one of them European bloody adapters. And this is the bike that we're going to be converting today. It's a 2012 Voodoo Aizen, so it's quite old, but you wouldn't think it looking at it. It's immaculate. The guy who I bought it off owned it since new. Yeah, it's lovely. Paid 180 quid for it on Facebook Marketplace. A little bit more than what I wanted, but as soon as I saw it, I knew that this bike would be right for the build. It's got hydraulic brakes, it's got 29-inch wheels. Lovely colour combination. Yeah, it's really nice, and it's a large frame as well. So, let's get building. The first thing we need to do is get this wheel off, get this rear wheel off, get the new one on. Let's get cracking with that. Right, as I was transferring my cassette from my old wheel onto my new wheel, I found a problem already. This cassette is a standard cassette. It sits on a free hub body. You use a cassette tool in there to loosen it off and take it off, no problem. You can transfer that over. When I was transferring it over to the new one, there was no free hub body on this wheel. There was no free hub body present. So there was no way to fit that cassette onto that wheel. So I had to go out and buy this cassette, which is a screw-on cassette, which I'd never heard of, but apparently it was quite common on every bike up until the 80s, but that was like 40 years ago. Anyway, Now when they sent me the new one, it has a new fitting. So a standard cassette tool, as you can see, it just spins inside there. Doesn't fit, the teeth don't line up. So they sent me a tool with the sprocket, which is pretty cool. Well, with the cassette, sorry. Problem is, the tool doesn't fit over the axle. Now, that's not much of a problem now, because when you put in a new cassette on a wheel, all you have to do is twist it right to tighten it, and as you drive or as you pedal, it'll tighten itself on. The problem comes when I do ever have to replace this. So what I need to do, I need to get that drilled out a couple more mil so that it fits over the axle, so that in the event that I do ever need to change this cassette, I can do that. But for now, it's not a problem because I've got this cassette on. So, with me having to buy a new cassette for this wheel, I was always going to buy a chunkier tyre anyway, so I thought I'll buy the cassette, the rotor, and a new tyre as well. So this is going to be a complete new wheel, and I'm not transferring anything from the old wheel, which does have a couple of benefits. It means I can now sell this wheel as a whole, as a complete, or I can just keep it as a spare. But it's a fully functioning, perfect wheel, good to go. So, although it's a bit frustrating having to buy new parts for that, it is what it is. So, let's get the tyre and tube on, and then we can start getting it on the bike. So that's the tyre and the tube on. Yeah, it's not looking chunky at the minute because I still need to put some air in it, but I'm leaving the air out of it, so it gives me more clearance to get it in the bike for now. Yeah, that's the new rotor that I bought as well. It's only cheap. I thought I'd go with something with a bit of colour on it, why not? Thinking about it now, I do actually wish I'd got a bigger rotor so it takes up the majority of the size of the hub, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. So let's get this onto the bike. That's going to be a struggle. And with a little bit of persuasion, we've got it in. So, it looks weird because the tyre's not pumped up. There's a few things to consider here. Your spacers, they need to be sat there in that little dropout bit for the frame. Also, you need to make sure that your axle is all the way down in that dropout, or as far down as you can get it on both sides. If you have to grind out a bit of your frame dropout, you know, that sometimes that has to be done on some builds. Also, you have to take the brake off because there's not enough clearance to get the wheel on with it on. But once you've taken it off, you can then undo the adjustment bolts here, which gives you play to move the caliper side to side, which obviously you can then align up with your disc. But for now, I'm just going to make sure the gearing still works. Seems to be all good. Obviously, once it's all on and proper, I need to give it a gear service. But for now, that seems to be fine. So, the tyre spec for this bike goes from 29 1.75 up to 2.35, I think. This is a 2.4 tyre, so it's on the very max. And yeah, you can see how close it is clearance-wise to the frame, but not all in that to the front mech there, to the front mechanism. You see, it's not the end of the world, because if I have to take the front mech off and turn this into a single speed at the front, that's not a bad conversion anyway. But all we have to do now is get the torque arm kit on and then get it bolted up using thread locker, most importantly. So let's get this torque arm kit on, get it bolted up, and then start moving on. So that's the wheel on, that's the torque kit on. Yeah, I just want to snip a little bit of that, but as far as I'm aware, it's all been done correctly. So my rotor bolts have all been thread locked. The actual nuts for the wheel, they've been thread locked, both sides. The torque arm kit is on the non-drive side, all secure, all tight. Yeah, I think we're good to go. So now it's the battery and the controller. Time to get them on. Figure out where I actually want them on the bike or where they can actually go. So let's get them on. So this battery I got, it's a tube style battery. I think they look quite cool, to be fair, compared to the massive bulky ones. But anyway, in my opinion, it's supposed to go on that way, so this would be up there and that would be at the bottom, because the key's at the top, the USB port's there, and the power, and that's all the writing is displayed that way. The problem is the bottle cage mount on this bike is too far down to allow me to have it the correct way up. So I'm going to have to mount it upside down that way. So I'll just tighten these bolts in, I'll show you what I mean. I don't think it's going to look bad anyway, because it's in the same location, it's just facing the wrong way. So like that. So that's the wheel on and the battery on. Now I just need to figure out where I'm going to put the controller bag that's obviously going to have the controller and all the wires and everything that connects to everything. It's the brains of the bike basically. Now this hole here is for the wires. Now I have to take into account my wires are extremely long. So I'm restricted as to where I can have it. Let's have a look. I can either have it there, there, or there. Personally, I would like to have it here, but then there's not enough room for the battery to be able to slide out without having to take the controller bag off every time, and it's not practical, is it? So it's just going to have to be mounted underneath the battery there. And I think it'll actually look okay because it's in the same location as the battery. I think it'll look alright there, to be fair. Let me get it on. I'm not going to get it all wired up, but let me get that on and then we'll see what it looks like. I think that is going to be the final location of the controller and the battery. So now, what I'm going to do before I get everything connected up, obviously, is get the screen on and get the throttle on. So we'll get them done now. And then we can have a look at the bike and get it all wired up and get it ready. It is a shame I'm going to have to take these grips off because they're quite nice looking, in my opinion. They are Voodoo grips, but they're really nice. But it's a shame they're going to have to come off. So let's get this cockpit sorted out. Now we don't need this to be too tight because you don't want to mark your bars, but it needs to be reasonably tight so it's not going to move about. That's fine. Grips. Now I think that was the easiest grip replacement I've ever done. Well, let me get the new ones on first. Now, move that rubbish in a minute. Right, that's it. The bike's all done. I've got the cockpit finished off, got the wiring all tidied up and connected, and it fires up. So, let's take it out for a rip and see how she does. It's just sketchy doing this with one hand. There we go, test ride. Oh, that's only in mode 3 out of 5. This is hard to do one-handed. I need to turn around, so I'm gonna have to stop filming because I can't turn around one-handed. But I'll do another shot going back. So yeah, first test ride, really happy with it. It does go fast. I have to be careful because it's wet and I'm holding it with one hand. and so it's only in mode 3, but just to give you a little idea of the sort of speeds that you can get on it, this is in mode 3 out of 5. It's quite fast. I couldn't really get it up to speed because it was too wet outside and I was trying to film and stuff, but check this out. Pretty fast. Woo, pretty fast, isn't it? I absolutely love this thing. It is sick, honestly. It's so quick. I love it. So how much did the build cost me? How much did this thing cost me? The bike cost me £180. The kit cost me £189.50, so I'll call it £190. The battery cost me £125. But then we've got to add on a few other bits that I did need to buy. So the rotor, that was £8. The threaded freewheel, it's not a cassette actually, as I kept saying in the video, it's a freewheel. The threaded freewheel, that was £13. £583 total for that. As I said at the start, everything that I've used in this video, in this build, is going to be in the description below, so check them out if you want to see it all. Yeah, if you like the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.